Welcome to the Truth for Your 20s podcast. My name is Katie. I'm a proud girl mom. I've been married 20 years and counting. I'm a keynote speaker to sororities nationwide and a passion to be who I needed when I was younger.
And I'm Shayna Webb, proud big sister of 5 girls, Chattanooga content creator, high school coach, and your resident 20-something co-host who definitely doesn't have it all figured out yet, but loves talking about it anyway.
And together, we are here to bring a little truth, encouragement, real stories, and laughter to your 20s.
Woo! Guys, we discovered sound effects, so welcome back to a upgraded version of the Truth for Your 20s podcast.
You just should have seen us when we accidentally discovered these sound effects.
Anyway, we will not overwhelm you with sound effects, but we just have to say we do have them now, so that's fun.
So buckle up. It's going to be amazing.
2026. Just get ready.
Get ready, baby.
Which is what we're talking about today, is how to live your best life in 2026. 11 truths to think about before the new year.
I'm so excited about this. I know we both said that we're an Enneagram 3. If you don't know what that is, it's just a personality test, essentially, but it means you're an achiever. And we just nerd out about like new year, new me, new goals.
Yeah, like who doesn't love a reset? It's like when you change your sheets on your bed and you can get in them and you like freshly showered. It's just like it's a great time.
Yes, and cleaning your car does that like the same effect for me. Something about a clean car, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah. So that's what we're about to head into. Right now we're in December and it's like you're going to bed with like 3-day-old hair and you don't have your old sheet. You have your old sheets on. No, I'm just kidding. Like we're trying to finish December strong, of course. If you're listening in real time, it's almost Christmas.
Yes.
And so that's obviously exciting. But I thought this would be just a good episode because who doesn't love a reset, and just like some good things to think about if you're still trying to like think about what you want your 2026 to look like, because we believe 2026 is going to be everyone's best year yet.
Yes, why not? Why not? But first, I want you to tell what you did this past 2025 as a goal, because when I first got to know you, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And your new friend 25 thing.
Oh, my new friend Friday in 2025. So when we were doing 2025 resolutions, like, you know, everyone's always like, oh, I'm going to work at, like, I was just like, let me just do some fun ones. So in 2025, I had a resolution. One was to take a picture in every photo booth that we came across.
Oh, that's so fun.
So that was a fun one. But the main one, the one that Katie just alluded to, is I did meet a new girlfriend every week, which is a bit of a stretch. I didn't get one every single week, but I think I was counting up the other day and I had like 26 or 27 new intentional like meetups with new girlfriends.
That's great.
So almost every other week I got to meet a new friend, and that was really cool. And it's not like every single person that you meet is like a new best friend, but it was just a really fun way for me that I wanted to like get out and know more girls in our community, like a diverse background. Like not every girl I met was like a Christian white girl. Like it was like a diverse like group of just getting to know other people in our community and becoming friends with them. And really it was just like meeting up for coffee or meeting up for a new, like trying out a new restaurant or just doing something fun. And it was really fun, just like getting to know new people. And the way that I did that was just putting out a call out on Instagram. It turns out a lot of people are looking for community, which I know we've talked about in a past episode. So it was really cool. And I've had a lot of fun. I have one more new friend Friday coming up for this year. We're sleeping over at the aquarium.
Oh, how fun.
With a new friend.
I love that.
So a lot of times people will be like, aren't you scared like to meet some random stranger? And I always say like, I like, we are like Instagram friends. Like you kind of know who they are or whatever. So it's not like super scary. We always go somewhere public. Right. So that was my 2025 resolution. And then I think we'll kind of share our 2026 goals at the end of this episode. But we wanted to just kind of give like a breakdown, just like 11 truths to really think about if you're in your 20s and you're trying to reset for this new year. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. That makes my heart so happy. I love it.
Number one truth we have was stop living your life by accident, start living it on purpose. And kind of the background on that is, I think I saw a stat the other day about how much time we truly just spend scrolling on our phones or doing going through the motions basically. And so it's just choosing really how you're going to spend your time and just being more aware of that.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think it all goes back to, what story are you telling? And we have a friend who, well, it's a long story. It's a family friend, but unfortunately has dealt with a lot of addiction and losing his kid and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, no one would have said when I'm in my 40s, I want to have this as your story. It's
Mhm.
heartbreaking, but we make steps and we make choices. And so, in a lighter note, yeah, I wasted. If you look back and you look back at your phone, hours, days, weeks of my life on the internet. I'm not here to say social media is bad. I love social media, but what you value, and if you look back and you spend too much time on what you don't value, then obviously
Mhm.
that's a problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think a good habit to have, is, like, actually looking at your screen time at the end of every day because it can be a wake-up call. Like, I remember checking my screen time the other day, and it was 11 hours.
It's also your job, so that's
Right,
tricky.
but still, also, like, so much of it, though, can I mean, yeah, but I wasn't working 11 hours on my phone today, you know?
Yeah,
And so it's just really about, choosing your priorities and, like, just thinking about how you wanna spend your day in 2026. Like, how much scrolling do you wanna do? Apple low key makes it easy for you to set time limits on stuff, even if you don't. I mean, I always see ads for like brick or like you can brick your phone and it will block things or like whatever. But there's also just like, for free in the settings app, like time limits you can set on your phone. So then that's at least a reminder. I have it on um time limit for Instagram where it reminds me, it's like ignore for 15 minutes and I will click that, but then it like will remind you like after 15 minutes that it's been up. And so then if I am working, I'll just click ignore for 15 minutes again. But if I was just scrolling, I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness this interrupted me before I went on
another
another like half an hour of just mindless scrolling or whatever." So,
yeah. Yeah, I think that we don't talk about that it really is an addictive logarithm. Like, the
yeah,
people who create these things are smart and they know what they're doing, and they're not bad guys or women or whatever. They're just trying to do their job, but we just need to be armed and realize, is this how I want to spend my days? And
yeah,
so if not, then yeah, put tools in place to make it more realistic timelines and
right.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Are we ready for truth number
Let's
2?
ready.
All right, truth number 2, create one non-negotiable daily habit that sets the tone. So not like you're trying to do 20 new habits. I think a lot of times when like it's January, you're like, I'm going
Yeah.
to wake up and work out. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do a devotion. I'm going to text my grandma every day. And it's like, that's a lot of new things that you're trying to start all at once. So just think of like one thing. And before we did this podcast, I was testing out one that I want to do in 2026. And Cameron and I have been going strong at this for going on 3 or 4 weeks now. So I feel comfortable sharing it. But something we've started doing every weekday, whenever we get up, we're getting up at the same time. And before we check our phones, before we like even take a shower or whatever, um, one of us, we rotate days, but we play a worship song like on the TV in our living room from YouTube. And it just helps set the tone of the day. So every other day I'm choosing it, every other day he's choosing it. But you could do, obviously you can do this with anything. You could start with devotional or whatever. But we really like just starting with a worship song because like you're just waking up. So you're not necessarily like ready to like think hard or anything like doing a Bible study or whatever. So we've just started playing a worship song as the first 5 minutes of the day. Well, one of us takes the dog out and the other one gets the song set up on the TV. And then by the time the dog's back in, like we play the song. So it really has just started our work days off like on such a good note. So I definitely think we want to try to bring that into 2026. But for you guys, like it can be anything. It doesn't
Sure.
obviously have to be that. It could be 10 minutes without your phone. Like spend your first 10 minutes in the morning, don't look at your phone. Like
Yeah.
just get up, brush your teeth or whatever. It could be reading a chapter of the Bible. It could be making your bed. Like, that's a really easy non-negotiable. I mean, I shouldn't say that. We never make our bed. But if that's your like, that could be your habit if you're trying to think of, like, what could my non-negotiable daily habit be?
Have you heard of a habit stacking? Yeah, so that might be an easy way to tag this on. So you mentioned brushing your teeth. Hopefully you're doing that anyway. Then
Yeah.
that's a habit. I used to do this. I haven't done this in a long time, honestly. But every time you use the restroom, do 10 push-ups. So it's like, it just
Yeah.
something you're already doing, and then you add something
In
else.
college, I did every time I took a shower, did 10 squats in the shower.
There you go.
So,
Yeah. So just something you're already doing, and then adding something to it. And maybe it's a prayer. Maybe it's texting your grandma, like you said, something you're already doing. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Just like consistency is greater than intensity. So just
Preach.
do little small habits that can add up faster than trying to like change your whole life around in 2026 January 1st, like doing all these crazy workouts or whatever.
Yeah, I like it that you're like, if we aim for the moon, what is it? They say, you aim for the moon, you hit the stars. So I guess it's good to aim high, but don't overwhelm yourself, because then you're just going to quit in January. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Habit number 3. Do you want to read it?
Sure. Curate the people you let speak into your life. Did I say that right? Curate?
Yeah.
Curate. There we go. And this is so big because there's so many studies about, if you look at, you want to see your future, look at the people you're hanging out with.
Hmm.
And if you're hanging out with people who encourage you and, spur you on to be who you want to be, speak truth to you, not yes people. You know what I'm talking about? I read a study when you see a lot of celebrities fall and go off the rails. Um, I heard a producer talking about this, and he said he's seen so many celebrities go off the rails. And what happens a lot of times is they're surrounded by yes people. They ended up with all this fame and all this money, and no one can tell them, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" And instead, yeah, 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 and they end up totally going off the rails. So sometimes a good friend is one who loves you enough to be like, let's think
Hmm.
about this. Let's reconsider. So, anyways, hanging out with people who, speak life into you and encourage you, and maybe can say no to you in the best loving way. That's really important.
Right. Like, just think, do the people around you like encourage your faith or drain your peace? Or do the people around you make you better even? Like, that's a simple question. So just like thinking about that. And it's not like January 1st, you need to like have some friend fights and be like, We're breaking up
Right.
as friends." Like, honestly, just invest your time in hanging out with the people that do make you better. It doesn't mean you need to like send a big breakup text to a friend who doesn't make you better.
Yeah.
Just like choose how you spend your time and everything. And, um,
One thing that
yeah,
helps me is like if I were to move, who would I want to stay in contact with in my where I live? And so those people, make sure you spend time with them because they're your people. So
right.
yeah.
Or you can have a goal similar to like what I did this past year of just like meeting new people. If you feel like you need new friends who are encouraging and everything, there's places to meet them, especially with the growth of online like Facebook groups. You can find niche groups and
Yeah.
find people who have similar interests or just community, because I wrote down 2026 needs women who choose community over comparison.
Oh, preach that. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4. I can read this too if you want. Give your passions more oxygen.
Yeah, just like creating more, consuming less. So that's one big thing. Whenever I decided like I'm working in social media and like working from my phone, like I wanted to create more than I consume. So
Yeah.
less scrolling and more creating. And that's how I kind of manage it. But obviously, people have different passions. So you can take that however you want. But um,
Yeah, I love that. I think that the title speaks for itself. Giving permission, some people feel guilty about spending time on something that excites them. Like
yeah,
that's okay.
exactly.
Give it more room.
The biggest thing I've talked to so many people about this year, especially in like my new friend Fridays, like a lot of people will be like, "How did you start this social media page?" um where I share like Chattanooga things to do and everything. And the biggest thing that stops people is they are too scared to start. So it's like you don't have to be perfect at it to begin, but you have to begin to ever be good at it. Like you're never going to be good at it if you don't begin. So it's just like if you've been scared to start like a business that you've been always thinking about, or um like in my case, like finally posting that content that you've always wanted to, like just start, because the only people who are like judging or like talking about you behind your back are the people who are also too scared to do it. Like
Right?
nobody who you look up to is going to be thinking that, because they've been there. And anyone who's started a business or, whatever, posts their stuff online, like knows the feeling of starting at zero and feeling like a little bit embarrassed by it or whatever. But you just have to start and just do it.
You're gonna get me on my soapbox. That's a whole episode too, because
Okay, we'll come back to
I love it.
that.
No, that's so good though. So much to say about that.
So yeah, just, 2026, the year of doing your passion.
The only way to get ahead is to get started. We'll just throw that quote in there. That's a good one.
Yes. Yes. But it kind of leads into the next
It
one,
does.
which is choose rest before burnout, which this is the truth I need to brand on my forehead and look at every single day.
That'd be cute. Little brand on your forehead.
I am not good at this truth.
Girl, I mean, I think generally, and this is such a blanket statement, but I think women struggle with this by and large.
Yeah.
We're just, I'll do it. I'll do it. Yes, we're yes people. We don't want
Mhm.
to let people down. So we just say yes and we burn the candle at both ends. And this is especially true, when you become a young mom and so many things you just, yes, 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 until then you're just, ugh.
Yeah.
So choosing rest before burnout is important. And sometimes sometimes your body is gonna make you rest, which is not always a good thing if it's health or something like that.
Right.
So,
I
yeah.
remember my good friend telling me that, and she was like, if you don't rest, then your body will decide for you and you'll get injured or you'll get sick or whatever. And then it's like you're forced to rest. And
Yeah.
so, one thing we wrote down is 2026 needs a rested you, not an exhausted version of you pretending to have it all together. So, let's get some practical rest in 2026, whatever that looks like for you. I just recently started doing this after I went on that phone free weekend that I did a couple weeks ago. Every Sunday doing no phones on Sunday, except I let myself have 1 hour of phone time total, and that's, like, for texting or,
Yeah.
like, calling people whenever I need it, and I've only done it for 2 Sundays so far, but it has been amazing, and I definitely wanna bring that into 2026 because it helps, like, fill my cup back up on Sundays because I'm not worrying about work or whatever, but for literally the entire year before I just recently started doing this, it has been working, like, every single day, and it feels exhausting and like there's no rest days. And so this new idea of like actually resting for 1 day a week has been good, and I definitely want to bring that into 2026.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, what's our next one? Let's see.
Another one I need to brand on my forehead. Get your money organized. It will change your life.
Well, I can speak a little bit to this. My husband taught financial literacy at our local college, and we're big Dave Ramsey people. We're debt free, all that kind of stuff. And this is something that we are very passionate about. He does financial coaching on the side. I definitely feel like he's the expert, but I can say just a little bit of what it's a quote that I really like. I'm full of quotes, but anyways, a quote that I really like is spend. Okay, let me get it right. Hold on. Save merciful in the things that don't matter and spend extravagantly on the things that do. I probably
Mhm.
butchered that.
Oh,
But
that's good.
yeah, so like it is okay for you, and you got to be careful because social media is going to tell you the new handbag, the vacation, the new car, like all of these things matter and they don't. And that's such an individual thing. And it may change over time in different stages of life. But if it matters to you a lot to have good experiences, then you're probably going to not, have extravagant dinners. Like I'm saying, eat at home more and then go on vacations or have a used beat up car. Like
Yeah.
there's choices. So what matters to you is what you need to decide first of all, and then especially if you're in a marriage or in in a relationship, you need to decide, does this matter for both of us, and get on
Mhm.
the same page, and then spend where it matters and save where it doesn't.
And don't worry, we will have a whole money episode,
Yes,
maybe in January.
that'd probably be a good time.
But just for the getting into 2026, I mean, what we want to do, like come up with savings goals, there's a lot of great different programs you can use. Like Cameron and I have been using SoFi for the last couple years, and that's helped us
Yeah.
save up for our house and everything because you can put your money in savings buckets and stuff. And so that's pretty cool. But just like a 2026 goal is like honestly just look at your like what did you make this year and like, some basic 2026 goal prepping.
We use Every Dollar, which is an app to kind of just
Yeah.
help you budget. So that's a tip
Yeah.
too. But there's lots of tools out there. Yeah, lots
Yeah.
to unpack.
There's a lot if you just start paying attention to what you're
Yeah.
spending on because you can easily just like go and like not even realize how much you're spending. So that could just be the truth is clarity, confidence.
Yeah, write it down. Okay, learn how to communicate clearly. Oh, preach. It solves 90% of adult problems. Yeah, we've said it before on this podcast, but clarity is kindness. And sometimes just speaking up,
Yeah.
being clear about what matters to you, communicate to the people closest to you these things. And this is such, again, I'm speaking as a blanket statement, but women generally struggle. Like we're people pleasers and don't want to speak up for what matters. But then that just makes it more complicated because then they don't know. And then you hold a grudge and it just becomes more and more complicated. And meanwhile, someone's like, what the heck just happened? I didn't
Yeah.
even know that you didn't like this or whatever. So,
Right. And good news is in a couple so we're kind of recording a little bit out of order just because we've been trying to get this podcast up and ready and stuff. So we've already recorded this episode, but it hasn't come out yet, but it will in a couple weeks or next week or something. But we are doing an episode on like what should I say and how to ask for what you need in a relationship just because those are just such big things that I think girls in their 20s struggle with and don't have anyone to talk to, and that can come with a lot of communication errors. It's like I remember like when Cameron and I were dating a lot or just like when I was dating other people too, just like when it comes to boundaries and stuff, like there's so much that comes with communication. So get ready because we have some episodes jam-packed with
Yeah,
that.
there's like 20 episodes on all of these topics, but just kind of like, touching on things that are important when you're in your 20s.
Yeah. But just communicating and saying what you need and asking for what you need, like, a lot of those would be great things to bring into
Yeah,
2026.
for sure. And the next one is plug into something bigger than yourself. This is so huge. And, I think the obvious answer here is church. We're made for worship. Like you can look at it, even if people have never seen or heard the name Jesus, like they're worshiping somehow or something. We're made for worship. And when we're belonging to a body of other people who have the same goals. And it's really good to live in community. We're all made for community as well. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Right. And that can also look like volunteering or just getting involved with, like a Bible study or book club or just something
Yeah.
that's like more than just you and more than just your job also.
Yeah. Getting outside of
Because
the mundane.
yeah. But in general, like any kind of like, mission or volunteer or whatever, like helping other people oftentimes helps you too. So just like helping other people will help you also
Oh,
because
for sure.
you like feel that like I'm doing something bigger than myself and it's really cool.
I love it. You wanna read the next one?
Yes, number 9, do the boring things that make life beautiful. Do the boring things that make life beautiful, like drinking water,
Yes.
keeping your space clean. I mean, one thing I really want to bring into 2026 is like the closing shift mindset for your house. So I work from home, as I'm sure many people do. And it's like, just like if you're closing shift at a restaurant or something and you like, you have those things you have to do. So rather than like letting your house get like really messy and then having one big clean day at the end of the week. I wanna just, like, have a closing shift, like 10 minutes or whatever at the end of the day where I'm like, if I used this whatever, like, just cleaning off the counters or, like, wiping down the mirror, like, doing a few small things every day rather than having a big thing at
I
the
like
end
that.
of the week or something. So it's called, like, closing shift
I
of
like
your
that.
day.
I have gone away from this and I wanna bring it back in 2026, and that's the day of doing hard things.
Mhm.
So this is like when you gotta make an appointment for the oil change or
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
just all the stuff you don't wanna do, but you have to do it to keep the world going. And so, cleaning out the bottom drawer or whatever it is. So just the things that you don't wanna do, pick a day of the week and at least one of those things get done on I do Wednesdays, just whatever, hump day. Today is the day
Mhm.
of doing the things I don't wanna do. And I always pick one like I said, I've gone away with it, but I'd like to bring it into 2026, but I would always just pick if I do have to make an appointment, I would make it on that day
Mhm.
or pick a, drawer I don't wanna clean out or a phone call I don't wanna make or
Mhm.
whatever it may be. So just think the day of doing hard things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, I mean, with the truth being doing the boring things that make life beautiful, like that's also just like talking about, if you do have some goals for fitness or anything, like starting with stretching or just like doing a run, even though you don't want to, or whatever it is that is a thing you don't necessarily want to do, but it's going to make life more beautiful. Like plan your meals or eat a little bit better, which are other things I want to bring into 2026. But like we talked about earlier, let's go one at a time. So
Yeah.
that might be my 2027 goal. I don't know. We'll see. But plan meals, texting back your friends, all of those like n- not like the unsexy disciplines that make everything else easier.
Yeah. I would say
Cleaning.
planning. I don't know. Let me just look. I don't think we have this one on here, but planning is so important. Every Sunday, we just started pretty recently looking at our schedule, our whole family, and making a plan. It's called front loading. And so in that
Mhm.
way, it's like, oh, we talked about it on Sunday night. So I know on Wednesday, my husband has to pick up or I have to. It's just so much easier to go ahead and look at your week and
Yeah.
make that phone call because you have to meet with so and so. Like just planning. I just highly recommend making a plan for your week because it
Yeah.
is a game changer.
And then kind of well, I mean, this is kind of related, but number 10 is choosing joy on purpose. So it doesn't just a lot of times people are like, "Oh, I just want to be like your life looks so fun," or like that looks I want to be happy like that or like whatever. And joy doesn't just land on your doorstep. You kind of have to cultivate it.
Right.
And so 2026 can be the year of like more sunsets and less people pleasing and just more gratitude and like going out and doing these fun things, making time for them, planning them, like Katie said, but
No, that's so true. I went to a speaking conference where they kind of teach you how to be a speaker, and he talks about that. Like you tell the crowd, "We're going to have fun today. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to learn," and then they expect that. And that's so true with life. Like today, I'm going to have a great day. Today, I'm going to notice the sunsets.
mhm.
I follow a blogger who always talks about. I see miracles everywhere I go. And I think that's the coolest quote because then she notices it because
Yeah.
they are everywhere, but we just don't always take moments to look. So,
Oh, I love that. I see miracles everywhere I
isn't
go.
that fun?
Yes, that is so awesome.
Yes.
I'm going to brand that on my
You're gonna
forehead
have
too.
lots of stuff on
I'm
your
gonna have
forehead.
a
It's
lot
gonna
of
be so
brands.
cute.
And then we have truth number 11.
Last and best. Let God be the author instead of trying to control the plot.
Yes. Thank you, sound effects.
Right?
Trusting God with your direction is like just so huge. I mean, um, yes.
Yes, I know. I mean, like, what more can we say? And it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's the letting go is and it's a daily thing.
Yeah.
It's something that you don't just decide when you're 7 and you pray a prayer. It's like, no, today, like I give you control and it's doing it again the next day. And what does that look like when it comes to hard decisions and praying
Right.
and having people around you and all the other things we talked about? So
Yeah, something I heard that I really liked was volunteering your day to God
mm,
and just being like open to like at the beginning of the day, just be like, this day, I mean, you woke me up today. Like I'm volunteering. Like, how do you want to use me today? And sometimes it means just being patient while God's working behind the scenes. Or sometimes it literally just means like you have to be open to it at the beginning of the day and then just be constantly reminded throughout the day and pray with purpose and things like that.
right.
And so, yeah,
Yes. Yes. Preach.
see how he can work if you let him.
I love it. Well, that's our 11 things. Look at that. Go team. Well, if you enjoyed this or have some feedback you want to add to it, we want to hear from you. We have social media,
Yes.
all the things you can contact us. You can leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify. We love hearing from you. We say it every week, but we do. So please make sure you communicate because it's no fun if we don't know what you're liking.
If you guys want to leave a comment either on our latest Instagram post or like in the comments here on Spotify about what your 2026 goals are, then we can, be praying for your goals along with you, or even just like writing them down somewhere would be great. So if you want to write them down in the comments, that's awesome.
There you go.
Some
Accountability.
accountability
You're
there.
putting it out there on the internet, so it
Yeah.
has to be true.
Yeah. Do you have any 2026 goals, Katie?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's get into it. So we talked about this a little bit, but I would love to clear some digital clutter, clearing out my camera roll, all that kind of stuff. The main thing is the emails. My email inbox is embarrassing. And I've heard rumors, I've heard legends that people have 0 inboxes. And I don't know if that's true.
Like getting your inbox down to 0
Right. And which of
emails
course
unread.
organizing emails and doing all that kind of stuff. I literally have a tab open on my browser right now, which is again
Yeah.
the problem, too many tabs, but about a YouTube video about how to organize your Gmail. And so that is a goal to have
Yeah.
a more organized, clearer, I'm scared to say 0 because that sounds overwhelming, but a clearer inbox,
Single
more,
digits.
there we go, a better handle on my digital clutter.
That would be a great one that I also need to do. But rather than trying to make a bunch of different goals for myself, I am going to choose the rest day thing. I really want to bring that into 2026 and hopefully be able to do that constantly throughout the year. I mean, just in the 2 weeks that I have been doing it already, I've seen just like so much like good coming on Sundays because I'm not like I'm deliberately resting. And the past 2 Sundays, what it's kind of looked like is like, because I'm like, how am I going to fill my day without looking at screen? So
Yeah.
I've gone to 2 church services in the morning. I go with my sister and then I go to my normal church. But whatever it looks like, if it is a hike or just like I went to my friend's house and like cleaned out her pantry the other Sunday, like, cause that took a good 2 hours and it like was not on phone and was helping somebody else. And it was also just like hanging out with her. And so just doing something on Sundays that's not involving screens. I really want to bring in the less than 1 hour screen time every Sunday. So hopefully I can do that. That is one of my 2026 goals.
I think that's a great goal, especially as a content creator. That's amazing.
Yeah. So again, we'd love to hear what your goals are, so we can be praying for you, but also to hold you accountable to that. Obviously, community is a huge, huge, huge thing on this podcast, but also just in our lives. Community was my 2025 word, and I almost want to make it my 2026 word too. But obviously, we'd love to help be a community for you as your big sisters or whatever we're calling ourselves. So
Whatever you want to call us.
we'd love to hear some of your goals.
Yeah. And maybe whatever you want to call us too.
Yeah.
We like
Let us know. And we are excited for our episodes that are coming out over the next couple weeks over a lot of these topics, diving into more of them. And so stay tuned.
Yay. Thanks so much. We enjoyed
Alright.
hanging some out with you. I hope you got some truth for your 20s.
Yes. Goodbye. Yay. I think that was our best episode yet.